right, I think I am here and I am good to go. I am Devin from Dads and Dice, and this is part 3 of my Legacy of You campaign. Been super enjoying the game. Unfortunately, because of life and it being the week and just having all kinds of responsibilities, haven't got to play since Monday, and here it is Friday. But yeah, so I'm excited to continue out this campaign. For those that are just maybe tuning into this standalone game, I won my first one pretty handedly, and then I lost my second one pretty badly. So I will say it was pointed out to me in the comments that I made a completely boneheaded mistake. I had built the I think it's farm. Yeah, farm. That allowed me to get a white worker at the start of the game. I built it and then basically didn't ever use it to get an additional worker. And so I was kind of handicapping myself the entire game. So that's not really what I meant to do at all. But I'm not exactly sure that it would have changed the outcome. It possibly may have, but I don't know. We'll probably never know. So anyway, I'm gonna get everything set up here. Let's see. And I'm excited. Even though that game went pretty poorly, I still managed to be able to do several of the story things. So I had the fort that was really hammering me, and I do still have a fort, although I defeated the first version, and now I have a weakened fort. So it takes one less white worker. Now, let me see if I can get it out real quick. Excuse me. Yeah, so I'm going to have this here that I will have to contend with in this first spot here, and it will not move. But yeah, the last one, it destroyed a card or a warrior. This one, don't have that option, just destroy the card. I'm going to really try and hope to be able to kill it or destroy it earlier. I think that taking my workers or my cards, it just drained my resources so quick. I got about halfway through the canal. I pretty much saw that it was a losing situation. And so I basically went for trying to just do the most I could. The other thing I was able to do was I was at least able to finish my second food shortage card. So this time I have one that every time I place something, I'm going to get something. And the last thing that happened was because I lost, I got to add in a whole bunch of these little guys. So I got my support here. Let me actually switch this over to make it easier to see. Yeah, so I got my support here. So I now have a bunch of guys that draw a card, gain a shell, and then they can be any of the food resources. I'm very mixed on these guys. We're going to see how it is. A lot of times drawing cards, especially early in the game, is not necessarily the greatest. Because that's when you're most worried about the flood catching up. But we'll see. It's not like I'm also getting all of them into my starting deck. Right, I have 10 cards of, I don't know, roughly 30. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But yeah, so let's do that. And then I'm trying to think. I think I got some additional huts. I can't quite remember. That was this game. I think it was this game. I added in some more. So potentially more stories, potentially different rewards. I'm not really sure. We will just kind of see as the game goes with them. And then the canals, I didn't do anything on the canals. I had a story quest available on spot 5, I think it was. Hey, what's up, Alex? But yeah, I had a story quest there, and I just didn't quite make it. So that was a bummer. But as I said, I got, for it being a losing game, I think I got a decent amount knocked out. So Alex, I'm going to work on my AP this game, not sit on turn 1 for 10 minutes or whatnot. That's at least the goal. going in. Alright. Honestly, what I like about this game is it is just freaking fast setup, right? Like, I can do it while I'm talking. Most of the time I can't do much while I'm talking. Alright. Let's set those back there and draw the first one. Okay. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's basically it. So let's get it started. Let's draw the first hand. I might go ahead and push this up. I have not played Nemo's War. I've actually not heard of Nemo's War. Something similar, or is it a solo-only game? Whoa, I got 2 of the draw a card people. Okay. Draw a card, get a shell. Oh yeah, let me get my, speaking of shells, my shell and provision here. Let's do that, and let's go ahead and, man, I'm going to burn through my deck quick. I guess it's worth it, and, oh, I didn't put out my buildings. I'm sorry. No, I have not heard of that. Just started playing based 22,000 Leagues Under Sea. Makes sense, being Nemo. I suspect you would like it. I might check that out then. I like a game that I can really think and really kind of maximize what I think is the best options for me. Okay. Okay, so, oh man, I was like half set up. I didn't put out my townsfolk. Okay. No extra white workers. I get a white worker. Man, I really was all messed up. Okay. Got my white worker, got that, nothing else. Let's go ahead and use one of these cards, see what it's like. I'll draw a card and gain a shell. Yes, I do like the crunch, for sure. That's really where Paul and I differ in games, is that I do not mind like grinding out and like just really kind of mathing out optimal routes of things. And Paul's a lot of go with the way he feels. I'm going to discard both of these for a brick and a wood. And there's benefits both. Paul can get a game done way quicker than I can. Okay. But let's, don't have another white worker to build on this, which is probably okay. I think I'm going to build the farm first because I know I'm going to need white work. Well, you always need white workers. And I'm thinking whether I tuck or not, right? All of my options for tucking were workers. Let's, you know what? Let's go ahead and, man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I do this, if I trash a card, I would have to shuffle. I'm going to have to shuffle anyway, so that is not good. I might lose right at the start. Do I get rid of this for a white worker and build on the canal? Because if I play this and draw a card, I would need to draw 4 at my next turn, and this is for sure making me trash 1 card. And I don't have a yellow worker. I'm going to actually have to do that, unfortunately. Let's get rid of that, and I'll get a white worker, and I'm actually going to have to build on the canal this first turn. So let's just do that. Get rid of this, trash a card, get a wood and a brick. See, I just don't know how I feel about these guys that make me draw. You know what, I'm going to use one more. Draw a card. I'd be drawing so many cards if I took that one. Let's gain the 2 provisions here. Man, I had to trash 2 cards already. I don't really know that I want to tuck this draw a card one. Do I tuck the red worker? Especially knowing I have 2 of those in my deck to start with. If I trash this, I could go ahead and build this, which gives me 2 whites. You know what? I think I'll wait. Well, no. Now I'm going to take this into my deck. I know I'm going to spend at least 1 provision. I kind of like this one if I'm not spending more. Yeah, you know what? So, trashing it, if I play it, I get 2 provisions I could buy to out here. If I trash it, I could build, which then gives me another provision. I can buy another card, so it kind of nets the same. So I am going to trash it, and then I will build this and get the provision. Why is this? And I'm going to spend all 3 for sure, and to take 1. Which of these are better? Probably this one. Yeah. Okay. Last decision I need to make. Do I go ahead and tuck this card? I just have other things I would rather tuck than a soul red. So I'm going to get just a blue, which will get me a provision. Okay. I'm alright with that. Not tucking is odd, but I'm okay with that. Okay, let me move the barge. Let me suffer attacks, which is 2 more cards. The fortress mixed with my guys that are making me draw cards is kind of a killer combo. We'll see how it plays out. And then let's move the barge, suffer my attacks, and now refresh the row. Okay. 2, 3. So I draw 1. This comes here. And golly, I don't know that well, yeah, I'm gonna have to build on the thing again. Okay, is what it is. 1, 2, 3. Not necessarily. It depends on how many attacks I suffer. Alright, let's see here. There's my drawing. I'm going to get 2 white workers. Let's not make that mistake. A shell. And, whoops, a provision. And this is going to make 2 barbarians come out. Man, I don't want to get overrun by barbarians. Okay. I pretty much certainly have to build on the canal. I could afford 1 attack. Yeah, so let's, do I draw? Let's try it. I'm gonna shell. Now I've made it where I have to build on the canal, so let's do it. And 2. Trash 1. Man, I'm trashing so many cards. Get a wood and a brick. I could try. I've trashed too many cards. I was going to say I could try for like an early defeating this fortress. Although I really need to defeat that fortress. Because I could get... I would have to lose this for the blue. Then I could get a worker. That's my red. And I would have 3 provisions. Maybe I do that, right? Because right now I'm suffering 3 attacks, which is like taking all these people. So it's the same as 2 provisions worth. I might do it. And I get a white worker from it. Let's try it. I get a provision and a shell. The downside is I'm not tucking again. Is it worth taking this to tuck? Oh, I'm sorry. I need 3 white workers to do this. It's the 2 over there, plus 1 to build. I think I'm just going to take the attacks this turn. Yeah. I don't really want to trash any more cards. I can build up some white workers, so I'll do that. Get a white worker. Do this. Get another white worker. No, we're not gonna do that one. We'll put that one back and we'll tuck here. And then I get a wood. Now here's my dilemma. I would much rather build a hut. Yeah, I can't build a hut this turn. Yeah, just not happening. So let's build a farm. Spin this white worker, brick, and a wood. I don't know what color worker I need. That's why I'm like hesitant putting that there. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. Okay. Then this to get a provision. Then I'm definitely gonna buy the first 3. Spend 2 provisions. And now, do I... Yeah, I gotta make my... I'm like sacrificing so many cards, right? Like, what I just did is just to stay up with the cards I'm losing. So I have to buy... this one. Okay, unfortunately I'm already getting 2 barbarians. But I think that's it. Okay, let's put this back. Suffer attacks, which is all 3 here. Refresh the row. Man, this fort is just like... That is for sure one of the worst ones I wanted to see. I now have to beat that thing this turn. Okay. Okay. Let's shuffle. I think I'm going to lose right here already. This was a fast game, a fast loss, but man, we'll see. We will see. 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm getting 3 white workers. So I could build on the canal. But am I really doing anything? This comes back here. Oh, provision, shell. So I have to build on the canal or I lose to the flood. But I'm building so fast, so terribly fast. I also want another worker. I don't think I can win right here. I can build on the canal, but man, I'd be discarding 2 cards. My deck would be... If I don't build on the canal, I lose. Straight up. Because I cannot pay all the bribes. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose. Which is alright. I think the first thing I'm going to do is defeat the fort so that I can at least be done with it. My only way to do that is to sacrifice that for 2 red. And then we have two more provisions and a shell here. 2 more provisions and a shell. I'll spend 3 provisions. Actually, can I do it without that? I'm not going to spin those. I think I didn't grab it. I think I can't remember. It doesn't matter too much. I'm going to spend these for provisions. And the reason is because I don't think drawing a random card here is going to change much for me. And I can at least spend this, this, and this to go through here. So that's what we're going to do. So there's provisions. There's 2 white. There's 3 of any color. First we'll draw this. Didn't figure it would change much. Let's put that there. And then I defeat this. I know it's going to go there. And I get to read number 6. What a rough round. But it is what it is. Okay. I did not want to be right, but with wisdom comes the ability to foretell heartbreak. And once more, I stand before the fortress. This time is different, as I watch the spark of rage rise into the smoky air, mixing with the cheers from the people around me. I place one hand on Bo Yi's shoulder. His work was good, as it always is. When we came at this fortress again, they did not expect us to breach the south wall. The surprise was effective, and once the enemy was quashed, we made sure that none would reside here for a long time. This scorched earth will stand as a testament to our conviction. Nothing will stand in the way of our great work. So I destroy that. I gain one of the following rewards. Construct 1 building for free. Discard any 1 barbarian above the board without gaining the reward. Or draw 3 townsfolk cards into your hand from the townsfolk draw pile. That's really good. Does that change me being able to do anything? I needed to spend this provision. know how I did in there. I don't think it does because I need 3 white workers. And 2 shells. Also, is this the disc draw pile? Ooh. That's your ready pile. Ooh, it does come from here. Okay. If I build a building free, this really, unfortunately, right now, does not do anything for me. Or, let's think here, maybe... I'm just trying to think whether I survive. Because right now I could spin these to do this here. Which could be useful. Or, can I actually survive? If I build free... Build this yellow, place it here, and get that yellow worker, and get a yellow here, I would technically have enough whites. But I'd be short provisions. I think I have to draw 3 cards. Let's see what happens. White, blue, black. I don't think that changed things for me. I still need to two shells. I'm going to do this. Who knows? Maybe something great will come of it. We'll do this and read 33. Maybe it'll give me a provision. Maybe. 33. Bo-Yu came running to my tent this afternoon, his urgency beset by his own haste as he had to catch his breath before being able to share what he had discovered, and what a discovery it was, while pursuing my own musing that the fire would have needed something to help it to start. While pursuing my own musing that the fire would have needed something... Oh, yeah, that's right, because the fire caused the food shortage. Okay. Musing that the fire would have needed something to help it start, he had uncovered evidence that the fire we started intentionally and was started intentionally in tracks leading away from the camp. Someone has been stealing our food. We have mustered a tracking party and sent them on the trail. I have chosen Xing Ying to lead them as her reputation as a master hunter and tracker is not false praise. Even with her skill, it will take time to discover where this trail leads, but I will not tolerate this thievery. My people will not starve after working to feed others who wish to eat for free. Find card 66 in the story deck and place it face down underneath your ready pile. Okay. $66. If this was already added during a previous game, instead gain 2 wood. It was not, so she's going to go there. 5. Interesting, because now I technically survive. Alright, let's see what happens. I'm still going to do that card. Maybe they're all good. I don't want to draw any more cards. At all. So this is going to go here. And I'll do 43. Maybe it's also something great. Monkeys. I would have laughed if it wasn't so furious. A small band of thieves and bandits bearing a standard of a monkey have been raiding our food supply and selling it to the local barbarians, laughing at us all the while. Bo Yi and the trackers stayed long enough to hear their retelling of setting the fire and making off with our valuable supplies under its cover. He acted as my sword, and while it was not without cost, we will no longer be feeding our enemies in this endeavor, and it seems that we were not the only ones these demons were stealing from. Oh gosh. Draw the top 2 barbarian cards from the barbarian draw pile and look at them. Gain the reward shown on the right side of each barbarian card, then place them into the barbarian discard pile. If you draw a barbarian featuring a storybook entry on the right side, discard and draw a new one. Do not read the story entry. And then I take a damage. So, okay. Well, okay. There's my shells. 3, 4. We have to draw a card. Maybe I'm hanging on, and then I take a damage, which actually is not at all what I wanted, because now I am less. But we'll see what happens here. Okay. What do I do now? I kind of want to finish this, but at the same time, I can technically survive. Which probably is the better bet. This brick goes to paying off a bribe, which means I cannot build. Wait, no, I can. What if I build this? blue. You know what? Let's try it. I'm still living on a prayer. But I wouldn't have to discard anymore, so we're going to get a white worker. We're going to get a blue. Going to get a black. Get a wood. Get a provision. Get a provision and a shell. Okay, wait, actually. What if I defeat this, I make those red. Defeat this. I'm just thinking if I cannot shuffle. No, I have to draw 4 cards. It has nothing to do with that. I have to build. Okay. So, I don't know that it matters too much. There's been a white, a brick, and 3 wood. No, I'm sorry. I think I can. I get my white, brick, 3 wood back. Wow, I'm like hanging on so much better than I thought. Okay, if I can defeat, if I make this red. Yeah. No, I have to use one. Yeah, I'm back to where I thought. Okay, sorry. White, brick, 3 wood, black or blue. I guess black. So I'm going to get a black. And then I'm going to spin these as 3 white. These, whoops. Is that to build. Get a brick and a wood. Trash 2. I'm not sure who all's in here. You're the only one actively watching, and I'm glad you are. Although you're watching me really struggle in this game. I feel like I am so far behind. Okay, I trashed the 2. I unfortunately think that is it. Thankfully, I just got a string of things that like gained me stuff. but I'm going to be behind. My deck is not great. So let's do this. Let's do this one for sure. And then, yeah. Go ahead and take him. Just get as thick of a deck as I can. I've trashed so many cards. I've just done a lot. I guess end with getting a provision. And then I suffer my attacks. So, 1. I think in this game you do kind of have to think out like how things are going to be. There's my other attack, and then I pay 1 bribe. But I'm just hanging on in this game. That fortress destroying cards, as well as my last bonus of having all these guys that draw cards. I'm just burning through my deck and just barely staying above the flood. Okay, I bring the flood back. I suffered attacks. I add 2 more. I'm like half tempted to do this and just hope that like that is really good, but I don't have a lot of hope for that. I shuffled, so this came here. Let's get my 4, 2, 3, 4, 3 white workers. And see now, like I'm gonna need to beat back barbarians because I'll lose otherwise. Okay, 3 workers. I'm gonna get 2 shells and 1 provision. Okay. And like at some point, I have to defeat 3 barbarians. I'm just in like this perpetual. I have to do the canal each turn, but I'm not fighting back enough barbarians. In this next canal space means I'd get 3 barbarians, right? So I would have to defeat. This turn, I have to not only build on the canal, but I have to defeat 2 barbarians. So I think this is probably the end of the line for me. I have no other ways of drawing extra cards, really. So I'm going to use this milk here to do this and read story 4. Maybe it's another saving grace that saves me another turn. Worst case, maybe I get rid of these stupid food storage cards. With the thieves behind us, we can also leave worry in the dirt. Our stores have been boosted by all that was recovered from the monkeys' camp, and our forgers have renewed vigor in their work, spurred on by the desire to restore all that had been lost and more. We are close. One last push this season should put an end to both the rationing and the worry that hangs over my head, and yet I still feel like something follows me. So I get to file this, place these in the discard pile, yeah. I'm going to file this. Get card 53. Hope I was wrong. We have another food storage card for next game. File it under other setup. As with previous food, this new one will also need to be completed in order to win the next game. Well, I tried. At least I'm, I guess, slowly knocking those cards out. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. One of the things I should have done was get a worker of whatever color I want. I mean, red makes the most sense. But I think this is the end of the line for me because I cannot build a hut. And a hut is how I would get another worker. So I will be overrun by barbarians. Technically, I could spend 2 provisions to turn these guys into red. That would allow me to I only need 1. This guy into red, 1 provision, 1 to kill him. I would end up with... No. Yeah, something like that. I'd end up with another white worker in a shell. I can defeat 2. But I don't think I have to do... Are you talking about this being historically accurate? I'm not a history buff, so... I mean, I know it's about you that did build canals. I guess it's in China? Is that where it is? But I don't know. I won't pretend to know more. Okay. I can beat 2, but I'm not positive. I think my issue then would be shells. I mean, let's try it. Being overrun by barbarians is pretty normal. Okay, I have to... spend a provision. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the end. I have to spend a provision to turn this red. And then I'll spend 1 provision to defeat this one. And get a shell. And a white worker. We can beat this one. Okay, so we'll hold on 1 more round. I'm going to spend, there's a provision, I'm spending 4 for 2 more provisions. So that's 3 provisions. These will be 2 black, blue. I'll defeat this one. And then we'll use this for a white worker. And the unfortunate thing is I'm not really recruiting into my deck. I'm not gaining my free provision here. And I'm going to have to burn 2 more cards. Again, I'm just really barely hanging on here. Barbarians flooding is brutal. Okay, so I have my 3 there. 2 of these. We'll build. And that. Take 2 damage. Get a wood and a brick. And that's all I can do. Let me suffer my attacks, and I might as well spend the brick to bribe this one. Take 2 more damage. Return this barge. Every round I say this is the last round. Oh, this one is actually the last round. Oh, no, I can recruit. I should have recruited at the end of that turn. Maybe I should spend 2 and recruit 2, just to be... Yeah, why not? Okay, so I can shuffle. I have 5 cards. Flood comes here. I'm surprised. I've made it an hour. I've made it this far. But this has been a complete beatdown. Okay, and I get 4. Get 4. 3 white workers. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3. So sad. Most games I go through this Town Folk deck like 2 times, sometimes 3 times. Not even gonna make it through once. Okay, got my white workers, 2 shells, excuse me, and a provision. Yeah, this is the absolute end. Yeah, so I agree. I think this game, I could beat this quite a bit on Tabletop Simulator because it didn't have the story elements, right? And I kind of got a feel for the game. The story elements impact it so good. Like it adds the right thing to make it where it's actually hard. And you're not just steamrolling 7-0 the entire campaign, right? Like I'm about to be 1-2. So, yes, I think that's a great thing. Okay, I've said it every turn. This is for sure the last turn. There's no chance. Sorry for the loud clacking. I've got a dog door 15 feet from the camera. Oh, I do get a worker, whatever color I want. It truly doesn't matter. I actually don't have a way of getting any other colored workers but paying provisions. Yeah, this is... Show us the dogs sometime. Well, so I have 3. I can pick up one of them. I got about a 30-pound dog, and then one is right around 50, and the other is about 110 pounds. But yeah, I will do that sometime for sure. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna basically end this. I don't have a way of dealing with 3 barbarians, which I have to do, and I have to build on the flood. Right, I would need a total of 13 workers. Don't have that. So I kind of have 2 options. I can choose if I want to lose to the flood or if I want to lose to... It'd be damage at this point. Let's do... Last time I lost to the flood. Let's just... Let's call it what it is and lose to... Let's lose to barbarians. We'll do that. I'm going to get a white worker there. Provision and shell. Spend a provision and a white worker to turn this blue. And then I will turn in these 4 and this to build here. So this is a funny thing because technically you do build and then you do the card. It all happens very simultaneously. So like I get this brick, but then I would shuffle these, causing this flood to move here, trash these. I literally have 2 cards in my hand. I am most certainly losing to barbarians, losing to damage because I can't pay all these bribes. So I would then lose to the damage. Actually, I think I would have played those first. They'd have been shuffled, and then I'd have lost to the damage. So that's it. I'm going to lose to the damage. Man, 2 in a row. Let's see what I got here. Okay, damage or barbarians. So number 19. Radiant Tashini. It is your guiding light that I see when I close my eyes to rest after the long days of work, and tonight I may leave them closed as my body and mind are both exhausted. How can men and women have no care for their own land and instead lend themselves to this destruction? Still they come against us, these thieves and barbarians, and still my warriors fall short and cannot hold them at bay long enough for us to finish our work. I cannot continue much longer under this cloud of defeat, as the rain that falls from it soaks deeper into my bones than any natural rainfall. I suppose that now that I am still thinking of you, it seems that perhaps the rainfall is slowing. When we have been pushed back one more by our enemies, the floods are later this year. The rain seems to have lessened, and while the flood waters will come and take away much as they recede, I feel the hope that things will be better, that the ancestors are watching over us, and I might even get to spend a little more time with my eyes closed, dreaming of your light. So I put this in the history. I reveal 63 and 64 and add them to huts and canals for future games, which is interesting. 63 and 64. Okay. So an interesting bonus here. Looks like they're level 1 canal spots, and instead of trashing a card, you'll get a card into your deck. So that's kind of cool. I think that I like that better than my last loss. So let's put those there. And that is it. Alex, thank you so much for sticking it out with me. I'm sorry that you have now seen 2 losses in a row. But as you said, it does show a sign of a good game, one that's balanced. I think this will help. I think getting rid of that fortress this turn helped quite a bit. Food storage thing, yeah, I know. I don't know if I caught a full picture of it, right? But so it's that. And I know you don't have the game, but so typically this is your normal round 1 and 2, right? So instead of trashing a card, you get a card. But yeah, I do think I like this storybook aspect. I actually like that. I know I kind of flipped that over fast, but depending on how you lose, like I just read 19, but had I lost to the flood, I'd read 29, meaning I'd have gotten some other totally different benefit for future games. But I like this one because it's going to affect all future games, right? Even if just one of those 2 gets there. So, but as I said, I'm glad I got rid of the fortress. I think that was very beneficial. Thing. I'm further along in the food storage. I don't know how many of those there can be. Maybe there's enough to play whatever the max game is, 13. I'm not quite sure, but it feels like story-wise, I'm advancing it right. The first game is whenever I revealed that there was a fire, I lost all the food. The second game was when I kind of developed a plan to start figuring out who did it, and then this one, it seems I've defeated the band of monkey barbarians that caused it. So curious where the story goes from there. But yeah, that's all I have. So I appreciate, as I said, you watching this for sure, Alex, participating. It's fun to talk to somebody as I'm doing this and talk out my thoughts. And hopefully, again, I wasn't too AP this game for you. I like to really min-max my moves as best I can. And overall, I think I did decently well. I mean, I don't think this was a totally winnable game, but I lasted for quite a while. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, that's all I have. Very cool watching you play. Wish you best. Yeah, thanks. I'm as I said, I'm gonna plan to stream kind of the whole campaign. I don't really. It's very spotty because I have family and job and life and all of that. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure the days I'm going to stream. It's really just kind of as I can. It'll almost always be around this time, right? I was able to start early or today than normal, but that 7, 8 o'clock start time is probably pretty normal. So yeah, definitely jump in if I'm doing it. Other than that, you have a good night, and I'll see you next time.